The special prosecutor, OSP, the Simbi every night, to just say the Ken Ofori Attahs, not a red list, the people wanted people, Interpol, so then it's out to red list. You wanted, I just said, for Ken Ofori Attahs, say, you be say, Ken Ofori Attahs, or you wanted person, oh my God, I must say. Nanti for 18 betu, you say, ho mfa no nti for time a mehia no ebe de ebe kwa akyiri kakra nti wo se OSP enso de enya abotre ema ne mebusuanfo kra ba bonten de se bebre na de abetu dwa se se de ensema de aymbruja na nti for mesero se begebre nkutie nsemu ntwem ni na de abesisia na mesero se ukoso ahwe channel we ayo Dino TV na wo like na wo share na wo comment comment section wo na wo recommend channel so de ema foforo ati for Mr. Sobe Count, Abumuna, when I'm from a promoted channel, National Aquarium, or didn't TV, the moment said in Sempa, and Queen the brother, the Brem. Miss Ebren, Miss Breno, and Jabrania Kuti, and Sem Chumina, Emresia, I ordinary TV, it will be a Sonia Bre.
The list of wanted people in Ghana, but not at all. One of the top stories and Uncle Fubi says, a dear partner, El Coso. Now, Oshe say after the Ashanti regional chairman of the MPP, chairman and Tribusi, Yoki Kisi, Ebaye, na Yonko Yamrasa, 50 million Ghana cedis bill, and I think two sureties. And for a company a day, for not to say, and asem ketewa na afei Ofori Attahs de enso eba na kyerɛ sɛ Ghanafoɔ ani edi akyiri pa na bebre na esusu sɛ OSP anaasɛ the Office of the Special Prosecutor declare Ken Ofori Attahs wanted no na without any warrant kyerɛ sɛ ɛnɛ day the Office of the Special Prosecutor de krataa de aba abɔnten so a krataa a wɔde aba yi details of Supreme Court issued warrant for Ken Ofori Attahs arrest. Na kyerɛ sɛ tia mpɛ sɛ ɔmo Ken Ofori Attahs na afei nso investigation etimi ɛkɔ so ne ade no adeɛ sɛ ɔmo kura Supreme Court warrant a kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo de edi ɔmo dwuma a ɛnyɛ sɛ boapaye bi anaasɛ kyerɛ sɛ ɔmo a ɛpɛ na ɔmo de deɛ ɔmo ɛpɛ na wohwɛ o screens ne so a you can see clearly we a warrant to arrest in the Supreme Court of Ghana. And under that, also two Office of the Special Prosecutor Accra, whereas officers of the court, whereas Ken Ofori Attahs, that is Kenneth Ofori Attahs of Accra, is accused of the offence. That is the offence, using public office for private profit. So you are hereby commanded in the name of the president forthwith to apprehend the said and produce him before court at issued date. That is Accra. That is 12th day of February 2025. And we the arrest warrant. The Office of the Special Prosecutor Supreme Court edi omo ejuma nti say na nneɛma si tie wɔ na kyerɛ sɛ saa bere court adeɛ sɛ yɛhwɛ but then we are hearing sɛ Ken Ofori Attahs the former Minister of Finance na apɔmuden ho nsɛm no still na no ntimi enyina ne nan so saa but then we are hoping sɛ ne ho ebetimi atɔ no na kyerɛ sɛ bibia nso atimi akɔ so yi na yɛtimi ehu sɛ de nneɛma nso esi etie because some people are arguing sɛ is it fair? That is the point. Is it fair? So that is the Office of the Special Prosecutor who issue warrant and also to the list of wanted people or my Ghana because Honorable Ken Ofori Attahs is one of the few people that we can talk about them when it comes to Ghana. So yen pager and also yen development near they under the leadership of His Excellency Nana Akufo-Addo. Ghana's economy becoming one of the best. We talked about Ken Ofori Attahs. And then now people feel that with all this that he's done for Ghana and now he's been put on the list of wanted people, is it fair? That is some argument and so just say now looking at that, there are so many reactions are dropping the but then we are only hoping Honorable Ken Ofori Attahs upon the own now the due investigation the office of the special prosecutor the because looking at no case using public office for private profit, that is looking at section 179 C of Act 2960. And see, looking at that, the Office of the Special Prosecutor to me issue a restaurant that is coming from the Supreme Court of Ghana. Omo hwese omo ebetimi aye ntoto na chese bibia nso atimi akoso. So we are only hoping and then looking at said the nyoma ebehia akwanti ye hwe nkyeremu bia bibia no ebetimi edi nkyeremu no atimi ade abram.
1 cedi tax on petroleum products. Did you see this coming?
I didn't see this coming, and I didn't see it in the way that it was introduced. And good morning to your viewers.
Sure.
I believe that a couple of months ago, I think it was 3rd January, at the minister's vetting,
the finance minister's
vetting, when the issue of taxes and revenue came up, he literally intimated that our lazy and non-innovative approach to taxes is what he would not do. Forgetting that when the MPP came to power in 2017, we actually abolished 17 nuisance taxes. It didn't introduce any new burdensome tax until the challenges we faced post-COVID-19 and eventually the crisis which the war, Russian-Ukraine war triggered. Now, beyond that, what also we suffered was a deeply organized hatred for the MPP government as far as a particular tax was concerned, which was the e-levy. At the time, the conversation was our revenue shortfalls were not allowing government the space, the fiscal space, to continue the projects it was undertaking, as well as meeting basic expenses, paying government workers, as we know, as usual. Even despite the challenge during the time when COVID struck, government met its demands and even gave free water / taxes for frontline health workers, amongst other things. Beyond that, at the last State of the Nation address by the President, Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, I recall, and I would extract the text and send to you before the show ends.
Right.
At his last SONA, he said we had inherited a legacy debt of $2.5 billion. Now, the energy sector reform program, which government went into with the Bank of Ghana to sit down and see how we would reduce this debt. The concern then was that within 5 years, that 2.5 billion would balloon to 12.5 billion because of interest accrued, amongst other things. Don't forget that there were power purchasing agreements, which they said they had gone into, about 32 contracts. They had gone into in anticipation that in the event there's an industrial drive. At the time, that wasn't the explanation. But when MPP came into power and started 1D, 1F, their argument was, the power we accumulated was for you to embark on this vision you have. Don't forget that DUMSO wasn't about capacity. DUMSO was actually about debt management and ability to service debt. They left 2.5 billion. We came to meet 2.5 billion. We serviced the debt. It didn't balloon to 12.5 billion. We kept the lights on. The legacy debts they inherited from us stayed at 2.5 billion. Just a few months ago, you told us you had scrapped e-levy and people were happy. Yes, why not?
But what you were leaving, the energy sector debt is around 3.7.
3.7 billion?
Yes.
Billion.
No.
$1 billion.
No.
Billion.
No.
Billion.
No. No. 2.5 billion. I mean,
the energy sector debts now. The debts now is 3.7 billion.
You bring your data. My data here says it's 2.5 billion. And we kept the lights on.
Even yesterday, President Mahama mentioned it.
We kept the lights on. Now, subsequently, you come into power and you make a production and fanfare out of scrapping e-levy. You tell us that there will be no increase in taxes. This is the words of the finance minister himself just a few months ago. Subsequently, a negotiation on tariffs became an issue where the suggestion from government was over 40%, if I recall. They haggled, went back and forth, and settled at 14.7%. Where even comments from the general public was, but if e-levy is that about 1%, electricity, we all have it in our homes. Why take it all the way to 14.75%? Just a few months ago, well, I'll say weeks, the cedi is strengthening. ATO is forcing. That's the new